Hey everybody, RC here, back again to answer the question, what is Wavetale? We'll do that by playing a bit of the game here, and I'll tell you what I think of it. This is a game that is coming out today on the PlayStation, Steam, Switch, and for some reason, December 13th, tomorrow, on the Xbox Series S and X. But it is a 3D platformer that's kind of got a little bit of like old school Zelda Wind Waker vibes to it. Mostly that is because of all the water that you could see in this world here. We are living in a Kevin Costner less water world. That's what we'll call this here. You guys remember that great movie, right? Either way, I digress. This is a really fun 3D platformer. You get all your basic moves, you know, your double jump. You get your combats here, you know. You could swing your net around to catch sparks, which is what you're doing to light up these different areas. So you live in a world where this gloom that surrounds the island, as you can see here. This is a fluffy gloom here. It might look fun, but it's not. By the way, you can surf on the water. This is this is the best part of this game. The fact that you can do this right here. You basically surf around. But this whole area is completely encircled by this gloom. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what it is, but it ain't good. If you go into it, you're donezo. That's really all it comes down to. Stay away from that. We're going to up the volume here just a little bit for you guys. So here, we'll collect some of these little guys. These are the little sparks. Sparklings, I think they call them. You could use these as currency to buy yourself new clothes and hats and that kind of thing. You play as this blue-haired girl. I didn't catch her name, but this is her grandmother over here in the mauve-colored little jacket here. She's very, very domineering and very, like, she just controls this girl's life. And the reason that is because the girl's mother, the grandmother's daughter, was lost at one point to the sea. So she's trying to keep her safe as can be. So that is the story so far. This gloom has rolled in. There's a little bit of like backstory about like a war and you know, a bad side that you know, the bad guys who are like trying to cause a ruckus here, you know, that kind of thing. But you know, it's your typical fodder in a game. Now, here's the thing though. I want to get into the story a bit here because even though it's a 3D platformer, and 3D platformers, in my opinion, are mostly about the gameplay. You saw that I could surf on the water, right? So when you're on the water, you can also walk on it. So you can just stand here. Now, the coolest part about this is that when the gloom rolled in, it brought with it a shadow person. Now, you might be thinking, wow, when I'm on the water here, this looks great. You can see her shadow reflecting in the water. But believe it or not, that is not her shadow. That is actually a separate, weird, like, gloom shadow girl who lives in the water. She's like upside down under the water, which the whole time I'm sitting here thinking like, she must be dizzy because she's technically upside down from what she normally is, right? Can you get dizzy if you're walking upside down underwater? Do you know your equilibrium? Does it get all messed up? I don't know. These are the things I'm thinking about though. But I love this. I love the concept that her feet are matching with the girl in the water's feet as you walk around. And when you surf around here, your feet are still there. And then she switches over. If you see her, look at the attention to detail. She actually swims and she is the one that's guiding you. So it's like, it's not some meaningless like, okay, yeah, they're just running really fast right now. No, she jumps on her back and the girl who could swim really fast in the water is surfing you around, which I think is so cool. Such great attention to detail there. We're going to jump out of the water here because I want to show you something else too. And hopefully this will work here. But when you're running, you can also go into the water. Oh, no, it didn't work. I think you have to jump from a high up. We'll do that in just a minute. But you do this thing where when she jumps high up into the air and falls into the water, she goes underwater, and the gloom girl, or shadow girl, whatever we're going to call her, she takes you underwater and is just guiding you through the water. And it looks so cool. It's the mechanic this game was definitely built around, in my opinion. It's very fun to traverse and get around the water. Especially when you can surf around super fast like this. I love the little effects around it. Like you see little pink, purple, you know, lavender fish that pop around. You can see the wind. You know, you can get really cool shots like this. it's a great mechanic, and it's a lot of fun to control. Now, that isn't to say the rest of the game isn't fun, because it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to go get some sparks. We're going to go to these different islands here. So we got some collectibles here. Okay, so we have some enemies. And this, so far from what I could tell, is the extent of the combat. It's the one thing in this game that is not really tickling my fancy too much, is the combat. You saw the creatures we killed, and I should say at this point, I'm about a half hour to 45 minutes, somewhere in that window into this game. I've played up to this point on Steam. I'm playing this currently on the Series X. Both places, it's running great, so don't be afraid about where you want to get this game. I can't speak for the Switch. We all know that the Switch sometimes releases can be dubious when it, you know, sometimes they just don't run great, right? The Switch is getting old, but this game doesn't look like it's doing anything too crazy. I'm sure the Switch version, you know, just be aware of that when you go into this. Anyway, regardless, yeah, the combat. This is it right here. Like, there's no real combo. You know what I mean? Like, I expect to see like a 3-hit combo where she's kind of like boom, boom, and then does an overhead or something like that. You know, but this is it. It's just 2 moves back and forth. It's kind of one of the only things that doesn't do much for me in this game. I love the traversing. The 3D platforming is really fun. I love the movement on the water. I even like the characters. The grandmother can be a little overbearing at times, I think. She's a little too overprotective. I mean, but that fits with her character. It's just more of an annoyance on my part where I'm just like, leave the girl alone. Good Lord, let her do something, you know? But that's just more a character thing as opposed to it being bad. But everything around this game I am really, really enjoying. We're going to hit the switch here. We're going to jump through here. Oh, we didn't quite make the jump there, did we? We forgot to jump. Oh, here we go. Nope, we can jump right up. So I come from a background of absolutely loving... Get rid of that. Loving 3D platformers. The GameCube, PS2 era of games where they had 3D platformers coming out all the time. That was a great time for me because I loved all of them. In this game, it feels like it belongs in that era. This is a game that feels like it should have released on the GameCube. That's what it feels like. Like the look, feel, everything. Feels like it could have been a PS2 game. You also collect these like little journals that you could read about as well. So if you want to read more about the world, you can. You also collect information about different people you meet. One thing I will say too, and I don't know if this is the final tally for the amount of achievements in this game, is that on Steam, there were 14 achievements. And I can't see the list on the Xbox because it's closed out until it's released. Here's a spark. We only got 1 of the 4. There's 3 more. We got to go searching around. That was a spark, though. Those are the sparks that we need to collect to light up that big lantern that's out in the back there, out in the background. But yeah, so judging, like, if 14 is all the achievements it has for this, it doesn't seem like it's going to be a very long game. And I could be completely wrong on that. Maybe it is a bit longer. Maybe they're going to, you know, add more achievements in there for the final release of the game. I'm sure there's a, you know, a last minute patch they're going to put out. But I don't know. If it is just the 14, I'm not so sure this is going to be a very long game. I don't know how much it is offhand either. I did not get a price on this. But what I can say, though, is that if you are like me and you like 3D platformers in general, I think that you're just going to want to play this anyway. Here, we'll do one of her moves here where she swings around, and then we're going to do the dive-in thing I was talking about. Look. Woo! Look, she's under the water, and the girl's turning her around, then she jumps up onto her back. Love that. I love that move. Traversing the water is great. That's where the sort of like Wind Waker inspiration for me comes from. Like, I can kind of see, you know, whoever developed this definitely had, you know, a lot of love for the Wind Waker, because they were like, you know, I'd love to make a game where there's just like endless amounts of water everywhere, and we are surfing it. You know what I mean? We'll do something a little bit different than Wind Waker, but kind of the same. You know, and I think that's kind of cool. It's you can definitely tell it's going for that vibe, especially considering, you know, if you look at her face, it definitely has that cell shaded Wind Waker look. And the faces in this are really good. Like, I like when they make, you know, they have faces like this girl when she fights. You can definitely see her face change when she's like fighting. I saw the grandmother's face change a lot when she was talking to the girl, and you could tell she's worried and everything. They did a very good job with that. It's very cartoony, like I said, very cel-shaded Wind Waker style, and it's just very effective for this art style. Okay, so we've collected 1 of 4 sparks. Something's up at the... when they say plaza, do they mean the whole place? So here's the thing. Yeah, I guess it is the whole place. So we got 1 there. We got to go 3 more other places. But you can see this is actually how big the area is. So, you know, you can tell that because we just finished the Night Orchard. That's where we're from. That's where we live. We surfed all the way over to the plaza. So you can kind of tell there's at least going to be, what, like at least 3 or 4 more little areas to explore from the map. So it's just me trying to kind of gauge like how large this game actually is. All right, let's go surf to another area, see if we can find another spark. All over the place, when you explore, you're going to find all kinds of like fun little areas to explore and get these. Oh, you can save people as well. And you can see that the gloomy stuff has gotten all over people. Oh my, thank you. Have you seen my husband, Mr. Bain? He was supposed to pick up Clara on his way back from the Night Orchard. It's time for my monthly checkup. So you're going to run into all kinds of people with different issues in their lives, you know, looking for other people. Grandma does not seem to trust anybody at all, no matter who you talk to. Citizen in need, find Clara. Oh, kill that guy. I assume this is a kill all the enemies and then that'll unlock thing. Yeah. There's Clara. An awful taste. It's horrible, but at least I still have a pulse, I think. It's on my way to see Miss Bain. Help her. Okay, we already helped her. So we'll cruise through this. One of the other things that I feel like this game really needed is a little bit more fanfare around things and maybe musical cues. One of the things I take away from like a Wind Waker or a Zelda are musical cues, which is something Zelda does really well, which is when you get into a fight, the music changes. Or when you're around a dangerous area, there's tones or music changes, you know? For instance, here's the gloom. So when we're surfing around the gloom, there should be something on screen or like a musical cue that's letting you know like, hey, you're getting close to this stuff, you know? So the screen does change a little bit, but it also changes sometimes when you're just on the island. So it's hard to put in your head like, okay, I'm getting close to the wall, I better be careful here. Like it doesn't, you know, I don't feel like it's a very effective way. And especially you could like surf into it a little bit and not die. Like there should be something registering there. Now, if I go all the way in, like so, then you will die. But look, there's no fanfare. Music doesn't change. There's no like boof. There's no sounds from her. And you just kind of like repop, you know, you respawn back on land. So for me, I'm kind of like, I don't know. I feel like there was a little bit more there. And the same thing happened on this island when I was fighting the creatures. As soon as I unlocked the little goo cage that this, you know, person was trapped in, there was nothing. There was no like little celebratory music, nothing like that. I think they needed a little bit more there with that. So she needs her stethoscope. I have no idea where that's going to be. Okay, so she just says, I'm glad you found her, but that doesn't really help us find the stethoscope. All right, let's keep exploring. So yeah, there are things about this game that are not, you know, obviously AAA. You know, it's not that type of game. It's, you know, it is a game that from what I read, and I did not know this was a Google Stadia exclusive game. You can only play it on the Google Stadia, but since that is being sunsetted, Google is getting rid of the Stadia. The game had to come to other platforms, right? And that is what's happening now. So all I can say is good for them. I'm glad it's going to exist in other places for people to grab it. And I'm actually having a lot of fun with this game. So much fun that I'll be probably finishing it here on Xbox at home. And the next time I go on a work trip, I will be playing Wavetale on my Steam Deck to finish it there. So I'm not going to be touching that version anymore until I'm like on the plane or something, you know? Oh, there's the stethoscope. Why would it be up there? Who could say? But we do need to get a good jump going here. Oh, I thought we made it. Nope, we didn't quite make it. Okay, you can get a decent jump from there. Oh, there we go. Okay. It didn't take as much. I thought we had to, like, ramp up to it, but we got the stethoscope. Let's go return that, get it done. We need to find a few more sparks here. Being able to traverse around like that, though, go fast and then jump around like we're doing is so... It feels so good. It's very satisfying. Any of the other little problems I have with this game are forgiven just because it's, like, so fun to control the character. Well, thank you. Say, aren't you Iris? Iris's girl? I knew Iris. Iris is her mom, the one who went missing, disappeared. You look a lot like her. Yeah, I am. Do I really? Absolutely. I miss her a lot. To be honest, she was my first ever crush. The way she refused to back down when she put her mind to something, I miss her a lot. You already said that. I never really knew her, but I miss her too. And, okay, looks like when we finish, we get some more of these things to collect so we can buy some clothes or whatever. Okay. Spark time. That one we can't reach as easily. Okay, I don't see... I see a platform, so there must be a spark up there somewhere. And normally in this game, I feel like the developers have put, like, little hooks for you to, like, use your net on to jump up to. Like that up there. See that little, you know, white thing there? What do you call it? The white tell? White symbol? So you could do, like, one of those. They didn't put those really on any of the other platforms that are closer to the water. We're gonna platform around here. Grab some more of those. Oh, there was one like right here on this platform the whole time. Now this looks like it goes higher, like there's a bridge up there, but I don't really see how one would get up there. Unless I'm just like missing. Well, that's the fun of the 3D platformer, right? Trying to figure out how to reach places you don't think you can get to. Alright, we're gonna go check out another place. Screw off. Now you can see some of my complaints about the combat there are a little warranted. So far we fought a bunch of those little, you know, bug-looking gloom guys, and they kind of just do the same thing, and the moves that she makes with the net to, you know, for combat and stuff leave a lot to be desired as far as I'm concerned. For what I could also tell, like, I know we're early in the game, but it really doesn't seem like there's much in the way of, like, other items you're going to be using. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But I feel like they would have introduced, like, something new at this point, if that were the case. Did we go back to the one we already went to? I think we did. Let's head over to this one. Those two look very much alike. Okay, what do we got going on in here? Oh, another net, another person to save. Oh, where are you? There you are. Done and done. Mr. Nelson. Oh dear, what happened to me? It all went black. And who are you? Doris's granddaughter. Haven't seen you in a long time. Blah, blah, blah. She's been keeping busy. Wrong in assuming you came here without the help of a boat. Most peculiar. Yeah, I got this weird shadow gloom girl who, like, helps me walk on the water. What do you think about that? Alright, now we gotta find 4 hammers. Alright, so this is definitely turning into, like, the sub-quest style game. Oh, there was another enemy. I'm surprised they let that guy out with another enemy around. Does this go up? It does not. Do I have to hit it? Nope. It's just not powered. Yeah, it looks like it's one of those games where it turns into, like, you're trying to do your main quest, and then there's, like, several little quests that pop up because of that, you know? Oh, we can't break the barrels. Major faux pas. So the hammer's just, like, littered around? Like the stethoscope was just, like, randomly up on a platform? Does he say? Back in the day, we all thought our work was of such importance. Guess we learned our lesson. Have you found the hammers? All you care about is the hammers, man. What about me? What about my well-being? Oh, there's a hammer. Okay. So we got to find another way to climb up there, since that's not working. Okay, so we got this. And then I guess that's what we're doing. All right, one hammer. I feel like these should be working. I guess they don't get turned on until after we find the hammers, but I'm just kind of sitting here like, why aren't these working? This looks like it should be what gets me up to the next level, but I can't. I do not know. I guess if we jump to that and then jump over here, like I feel like right now I'm breaking what the developers thought we should be doing to get up to different ways, right? Get up to different platforms and stuff. There's another hammer. Grab that guy. Hey, we got a switch. What did that do? Oh, now that one's working. So is there a different switch at every level for the elevators? Is this the only one I've seen? Maybe I'm completely missing it. We're making progress, so I guess it's not all bad. You done? It's 3 of 4. Let's see if we can get the 4. And the verticality in this little area is really, really cool. There's another journal entry. One of the other things I wasn't a big fan about with this game too was the fact that the way they did their tutorials would stop the action in which you're. So if you were in the middle of like, you know, jumping or doing something, it would just stop and be like, "Don't forget, you can hold A to do your little helicopter thingy." And I'm just like, I know, I'm in the middle of something here. Why are you getting in my way here? They should just have it pop up as a prompt, you know, and then you can go and check it out in the options later if you missed it. But that I found to be a bit annoying, personally. Don't like when they take the control away like that. I don't mind a cutscene that does it now and then, but like for it to be like a constant thing at the beginning with the tutorial, it's just like not my thing. Okay, there is a 4th hammer. Did we miss one of the hammers coming up here? I feel like we must have. Let's take another look. No fall damage too, by the way. If you're worried about hurting your character in any way, shape, or form, there it is. So this is an honest-to-goodness, true blue 3D platformer where they're not going to tell you where items are at. You just got to find them. Like I said, feels like it should have came out back when, right? All right, we're going to drop down and talk to this guy. Boop. For the hammers, Morris will be so happy. It's lucky he's more practical than me. Need any advice on your financial investments? I'm your guy. Okay, but what about the spark? And also, how come we can't do that yet? And I was wondering, like, we were able to get that one elevator to work, but there's no other levers around, I guess? Huh. I don't know, that's very confusing. Am I just not looking in the right area, maybe? I don't see any up there. Huh. We also didn't find a spark here, which I feel like a spark was supposed to be at the very top of this. But again, I didn't see it. So it's a little confusing. Let's head over here. This looks promising. More enemies. I like I could sidestep like nobody's business. You see that? He's strafing around. Oh, we're gonna save somebody here. I was sleeping, had a really strange dream. I heard a scream through the gloom, so I was worried. Could you find him for me, please? Wow, we're helping everybody here. And if you go into the options, you can see that, okay, so we've already found the first 2 pages full of people. We found those 3 there. Right there. There's a sizable chunk of people, actually. But I feel like we're finding so many in just this one area that it's going to go by quick. So, you know, my comments about the combat in this game, you know, the one thing to take away from all that is that this is definitely a game that wasn't meant for combat. And from what I've seen in the trailer for the game, too, it does look like they're going to add some kind of sea combat in here, like where you're cruising around. Grab this guy. And you're going to be able to fight, you know, certain enemies in the water as well. So that's something to keep in mind. But for me, it seems like something they would want to introduce like earlier rather than later. Oh, that guy hit me because I didn't even know he was there. Okay, so now that's running. Yeah, you know, you'd want to include that stuff. Like I said, I feel like earlier rather than later. Here, we finally got one of these sparks. There we go. So we're at 2 out of 4 now. And now we just keep on trucking to the next area. I think we'll do one more of these little sub-areas here. We'll call it, because I feel like you all are going to have a good idea of what this game is and what to expect from it. Save this guy. Terry, thanks for getting me out of that mess. Me and my brother. Yep, okay. We saw something out in the water. You see, wanted to deal with it, but then, bam! A tall wave of gloom hit us. Did you see it too? That monster. We're gonna catch it. Need 3 big balls of string to make a net. Can you help us? Okay, so now we're finding string. So yeah, I think we'll do this one and then we'll call it here. But yeah, you know, final thoughts on this game though is I like it. I think it's cool. It's obvious it's not a, you know, triple A title. It's definitely an indie game. There's one of those, but I like it. I've never had a problem with indie games, or, you know, them having a small amount of jank with them, or not being completely perfect or anything like that. I think I don't know how big the team is that worked on this. I'm assuming they're relatively small, but the fact that they were able to create a game that looks this nice and plays this well with a smaller, you know, dev team is always impressive to me. I always like that stuff. Being able to do really, really cool things with very little is always impressive to me. Which is why I've always been a big fan of what people can do with indie games. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna get our final yarn up there, possibly. I definitely see like a white blinking tell thing up there, so we'll head over there now. But yeah, Wavetale. This is out today on most consoles, and then it'll be out on the Xbox Series consoles tomorrow on December 13th. Check it out if it looks cool to you, or if you're just a gigantic 3D platforming fan. I think that you will be pleasantly surprised with this. Like I said, I can't speak to the length of it because I haven't finished it, and I can't speak to the price because I don't know how much it's going to cost. But it is a cool game, and it's one that I would definitely play in my free time. Like I said, this is one that I'm going to finish this Xbox version at home, and I will, in the coming months when I have work trips, be playing this on the plane when I travel. But there you go, guys. That is Wavetale, a very fun 3D platformer, very colorful, very much enjoying myself with it. But thanks for watching, and of course, I'll see you all in the next one.